you feel Jesus releasing destinies? This is Celebration TV.
News desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1. That is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk. The whole truth. To 15.7 trillion naira at the end of December 2019.
Senior Democrats have responded by accusing him of committing a gross offense.
The All Progressives Congress has vowed to punish the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosu.
You're welcome to Celebration Television News Desk. I am Nicholas Akosile Walter. Please stay with us as we bring you details of the news after the short break. Quickly, before then, we'll give you the headlines right away. Finally, APC concede defeats, admits Edo poll free and fair. Mali pronounces ex-defense minister Ndo as interim president. COVID in Scotland, First Minister prepares to announce new restrictions. And Central Bank of Nigeria decries speculation as Naira plunges, exchanges for 465 Naira per dollar. Djokovic wins 5th Italian Open title. Please stay with us as we bring you details of our news after now.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femima.
and the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk. Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT plus 1, that is 11 a.m. GMT plus 1 on Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth. Welcome back and thanks for joining us once more. Now, the news in full. The All Progressives Congress on Monday considered defeat 24 hours after Governor Godwin Obaseki of the People's Democratic Party was declared winner of the Edo governorship election. Chairman of the Critical Extraordinary National Convention Planning Committee, Mai Malabuni, in a statement titled Edo State Governorship Election, Victory for Democracy, which he signed, congratulated Obaseki over his victory. Buni said Edo State governorship election is over. The winner has been declared by the Independent National Electoral Commission in the person of Mr. Godwin Obaseki, candidate of the People's Democratic Party. They hereby congratulate the winner of the elections, the people of Edo State and all Nigerians. The peaceful conduct of the election and its outcome represent victory for Nigerians' democracy. As a party, he said they joined their leader, President Muhammadu Buhari, JCFR, to confirm or affirm their commitment to free and fair elections in order to strengthen the foundation for the political and moral authority. They commended INEC, the security agencies, and all political parties that contested the election for the successful conduct of the election. As a governing party, they will take every step necessary to support the federal government to consolidate all the gains achieved. Moving forward quickly, Nigeria's president seeks equitable representation in United Nations Security Council. President Muhammadu Buhari joined world leaders at a visual event to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the United Nations. According to a statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, the president, in his message at the event, amplified Nigeria's achievement at the UN since 1960, when the country officially joined the organization. The statement was titled, "At 75, UN has remained true to the aspirations of founders," says President Buhari. Adesina quoted the president as stressing the need for a fair and equitable representation in the Security Council if they must achieve the United Nations they need. Buhari said the demand for the reform of the United Nations Security Council is just, and a place for Africa in the very strategic organ of the organization is long overdue. In our collective effort to rebuild the United Nations of your dream, Nigeria reaffirms her commitment to upholding the principles of the United Nations, including human rights, peace and security, as well as democratic governance. Buhari said Nigeria has remained a reliable partner of the United Nations in its aspiration to achieve its mandate of a more peaceful, secure and developed world. He added, this year's celebration is significant to Nigeria as it coincides with the 60th anniversary of joining this esteemed organization. As an active member of the organization, Nigeria has contributed human, financial, and material resources to several United Nations peacekeeping operations. Quickly, in another development, from Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, Ekiti secondary primary schools reopen. Public and private schools in Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Ekiti, and Oyo states reopened on Monday with partial adherence to coronavirus safety guidelines by the students and teachers. Most schools in Lagos State adhered strictly to the coronavirus guidelines on hand washing, use of face masks, and social distancing. Some of the school owners also lamented the low turnout of their pupils. Similarly, management of Lagos State University ensured that its final year students and some members of staff who resumed complied with the COVID-19 guidelines. A visit to the school showed designated staff checking identity cards of both students and members of staff while they were all directed by the hand washing point, while the use of face mask was enforced at the gate. It was observed that huge numbers of students were allowed into the school premises without face masks, most especially at the public schools. In some of the public schools visited in the state capital, there was no provision for hand washing and sanitizing. Some pupils claimed that they did not know they were supposed to wear face masks. While some parents expressed worry over the safety of their children, others said they had no worries at all. However, contrary to recommendation, some of the classrooms had more than 20 pupils. Coming from around Africa quickly, Mali pronounces ex-defense minister INT'L as interim president. Head of the National Committee for the Salvation of the People, Colonel Assimi Goita, issued a national announcement pronouncing INT'L, previously the Minister of Defense, as the Malian transitional president appointed by a committee set up by the junta in power since ousting in a coup d'etat ex-President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta on August 18th. The new president is expected to serve as head of state for several months before return of civilians to power. The colonel has been designated transitional vice president with a ceremony to swear in both officials scheduled for Friday, September 25th. This comes in light of weeks-long tension in Mali over the civilian or military nature of the transition and prayer from the community of West African state ECOWAS for a swift transition to civilian power. The NCSP had promised to honor all international agreements on fighting Islamists, extremist jihadists committing violent acts of terrorism in the region after ousting ex-President Ibrahim Boubacar Keïta. A move welcomed by the Malian people, many of whom had staged a 3-month protest for his resignation as they denounced government corruption and a challenged economy. Presidential elections will eventually be held after the transition, which the junta has set for 18 months. This is 6 months too long for ECOWAS leaders who have repeatedly called for a maximum 1-year transition as a condition to lift the already imposed sanctions on the West African nation. The M5 opposition movement has already outrightly rejected the charter. President Keïta was overthrown on the 18th of August following mass protests against his rule over corruption, the mismanagement of the economy, and a dispute over legislative elections. The coup sparked international condemnation, but it was welcomed by many Malians. This was the fourth coup in the West African state since it actually gained independence from France in 1960. Still coming from around Africa, Kenya's top judge wants parliament dissolved. Kenya's Chief Justice David Maraga has asked President Uhuru Kenyatta to dissolve parliament because it does not have enough female members of parliament. In a letter to Mr. Kenyatta, the Chief Justice said the failure to have more female members of parliament was in breach of the Constitution and tantamount to discrimination against women. The Constitution states that one gender group cannot occupy more than 2/3 of parliamentary seats. However, women hold far fewer than the mandatory 116 seats in the 350-member parliament. The parliament had either failed or neglected to enact legislation required to implement the gender rule, despite 4 court orders to do so, the Chief Justice said. And quickly, he was now legally required to advise the President to dissolve Parliament, the Chief Justice added as well. Parliamentary Speaker Justin Muturi said the dissolution of Parliament was an unrealistic option. Kenya's new constitution was introduced in 2010 and the 2/3 gender rule should have been enacted within 5 years. While there has been debate on the matter, the male-dominated parliament is yet to find a formula for getting more women into parliament, with several members arguing against creating more seats specifically for women and challenging them to compete more at the ballot box. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you updates from the United States of America. Please don't go anywhere.
To every gathering, there is a waiting. To every act of remembrance, there is a sure visitation. For the Lord is mighty to save. His arms are stretched forth to deliver.
Papa, sir, her legs and hand were bound. Papa, she was mad. Been mad for 2 years.
Mad for 2 years. Are you just looking?
Hallelujah.
September to remember 2020. Pray until something happens.
Say, my father, my father. As I begin to pray,
Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, happening on the 23rd through 27th September 2020 at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries headquarters, kilometer 132 Benin Okene Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. The time is 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. For inquiries, please call. September to remember. It is time to travail.
Welcome back, and now updates from the United States. From Johannesburg Supreme Court, Trump to name nominee by weekend. President Trump has said he will name a replacement to Ruth Bader Ginsburg by weekend and urged the Republican-controlled Senate to confirm his Supreme Court choice before 3rd of November. The plan has launched a high-stakes battle ahead of the election. Mr. Trump will replace Ginsburg, a liberal stalwart who died on Friday, aged 87, with a conservative. The president appears to have secured enough support in the U.S. Senate to win approval for his nominee. This would cement a right-leaning majority on the court for decades. The ideological balance of a 9-member court is crucial to its rulings on the most important issues in U.S. law. On Monday, Mr. Trump said that he was constitutionally obligated to nominate someone for the Supreme Court. The president earlier had a private meeting at the White House with a potential nominee, Amy Coney Barrett, an appeal court judge who is backed by anti-abortion conservative. Once the president names a nominee, it is the Senate's job to vote on whether to confirm them. The Judiciary Committee will review the pick first and then vote to send the nominee to the floor for a full vote. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has vowed to hold a confirmation vote before the election in November. Democrats have accused him of hypocrisy. Following the death of conservative Justice Anthony Scalia in 2016, Mr. McConnell refused to hold a vote to confirm a nominee, but forward by then-President Barack Obama, a Democrat. Quickly, more updates from the United Kingdom. On COVID in Scotland, First Minister prepares to announce new restrictions. Nicola Sturgeon is preparing to outline new restrictions designed to limit the spread of coronavirus in Scotland. She will address Holyrood today following a Cobra meeting with Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Her counterparts in Wales and Northern Ireland will also take part in a meeting in a bid to take a united approach as far as possible. It comes as the UK's COVID-19 alert level moved to 4, meaning the virus is high or rising exponentially. Downing Street confirmed on Monday night that Mr. Johnson had spoken on the phone to the First Minister of Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. They had all agreed to act with a united approach as much as possible in the days and weeks ahead. In England, restrictions will include a 10 p.m. closing time for pubs, bars and restaurants from Thursday. And in an extension of COVID curbs in Northern Ireland, households will not be able to meet indoors from 6 p.m. today. The Prime Minister will outline the measures in the Commons on Tuesday afternoon before addressing the nation in a live broadcast at 8 p.m. In a post on Twitter, Nicola Sturgeon said she would agree any new restrictions with her cabinet before making a statement to the Scottish Parliament. As a daily briefing on Monday, she said additional lockdown restrictions will almost certainly be put in place in Scotland in the next 48 hours. She said coronavirus was spreading in the country again and further and urgent action was needed to stop the increase, warning that if left unchecked, it would lead to more cases, people in hospital and deaths. She said the Scottish government was prepared to reintroduce a package of additional measures but would aim to avoid a full-scale lockdown such as the one imposed in March. On Monday, the number of cases in Scotland rose by 255, representing 6.3% of those newly tested, up from 5.4% on Sunday. Ms. Sturgeon said the Scottish government endorsed the warning of UK Chief Scientific Advisor Sir Patrick Valency that new cases could rise daily by 50,000 by October. On business news quickly, CBN decries speculation as Naira plunges and exchanges for 465 naira per dollar. Declining export receipts from oil and speculative activities of the bureau de change operators, among other challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy, will put more pressure on the naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria said this in its reports on Monday, credit foreign trade and exchange policy guidelines for fiscal year 2020-2021. The value of the naira plunged further as it exchanged at 465 naira per dollar in the parallel market on Monday, after it exchanged 460 naira per dollar on Thursday. It had earlier exchanged at 430 naira per dollar when the Central Bank of Nigeria commenced first says to the BDCs earlier in September. Sequel to the COVID-19 pandemic is the viability of the external sector in 2020 was expected to deteriorate given the present worsening current account balance and depletion of external reserves driven largely by decelerating export receipts, particularly oil. This development would undermine the implementation of government capital programs, impede public investment on infrastructural development, and could culminate in higher debt profile and attendant debt service obligations of the government. If the COVID-19 pandemic effects became severe, government may increase fiscal policy responses to ameliorate their impact on the populace, is stated. The financial sector was expected to remain resilient in 2020 on account of the accommodative monetary policy stance, continued efforts by the bank towards ensuring financial system stability and credit expansion policies. Furthermore, it added the renewed policies aimed at enhancing the payment system and cashless initiative are expected to sustain efficiency, safety, and confidence in the Nigerian payment system. And still on business news, Petrol subsidy gapped 8.94 trillion naira in 10 years, says PPPRA. The federal government spent 8.94 trillion naira on petrol subsidy between 2006 and 2015. Figures released by the Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Agency on Monday showed. Data from the PPPRA show that during the 10-year period, the government consistently spent billions of naira subsidizing premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol. It said that in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, and 2010, the government spent 257.36 billion naira, 271.51 billion naira, 630.57 billion naira, 469.31 billion, and 667.08 billion naira respectively. Also in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, and 2015, the government paid 2.104 trillion naira, 1.354 trillion naira, 1.315 trillion naira, 1.217 trillion naira, and 653.51 billion naira respectively on petrol subsidy. The PPPRO had in March commenced the deregulation of the downstream oil sector in a bid to halt the continued payment of subsidy. Before March, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the sole importer of petrol into Nigeria, had been recording under recoveries as a result of its subsidy spendings on petrol. Last week's report had it that the PPPRO gazetted a market-based pricing regime for petrol in its bid to further boost the deregulation of the downstream oil and gas sector. Spokesperson of the agency, Kimchi Apollo, said that with the new gazette, oil marketers were now empowered to fix petrol price in accordance with the market realities. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you news from the sporting world. Please stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
every gathering there is a waiting. To every act of remembrance there is a sure visitation. For the Lord is mighty to save. His arms are stretched forth to deliver.
Papa, sir, her legs and hand were bound. Papa, she was mad. Been mad for 2 years.
Mad for 2 years. Are you just looking? Hallelujah.
September to remember 2020. Pray until something happens.
Say, my father, my father. As I begin to pray,
Apostle Johnson and Dr. Lizzie Suleiman, happening on the 23rd through 27th September 2020 at the International Worship Center, Omega Fire Ministries headquarters, kilometer 132 Benin Okene Abuja Expressway, Auchi, Edo State, Nigeria. The time is 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. daily. For inquiries, please call. September to remember. It is time to travail.
Welcome to Sports News. Djokovic wins fifth Italian Open title. Novak Djokovic claimed a record 36 master crowns on Monday, beating Argentine Diego Schwartzman in the final of Italian Open. The world number one won 7-5, 6-3 to break a tie with Spanish rival Rafael Nadal for most master titles. For Djokovic, it was a fifth title in the warm-up clay court tournament for next week's French Open. 9-time Rome winner Nadal, the defending champion, fell in the quarterfinals to 8th seed Schwartzman.
Would like to take a photo with you, do with the racket, like the distance, like this. Yeah, he wants. He said, yes, look up there, look up there. Can we cross it? Yeah.
That's a magnificent touch. First of all, the lob from Schwartzman, and then the Djokovic reply was a pretty good one, but very solid bounce smash in the end from the Argentine.
Parità, deuce.
Schwartzman Djokovic has hit it all match.
What a great point to win it. Djokovic.
And Novak Djokovic is a winner in Rome once again.
7-5, 6-3.
It's a fifth.
Wow, that was a fantastic win from Djokovic. And quickly, in another sports news, we have Ibrahimovic scores twice as AC Milan beats Bologna. Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored twice as AC Milan got their Serie A campaign up and running with a 2-0 win over Bologna on Monday. Ibrahimovic, who turns 39 next month, showed he has lost none of his goal-scoring skills, having also netted last week against Irish side Shamrock Rovers in the Europa League. Ibrahimovic grabbed the opener in the 35th minute, rising higher than Danilo to get his head to a Theo Hernandez cross and celebrated in front of the 1,000 spectators allowed into the San Siro for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic, mostly invited frontline health workers who had toiled during the worst of the crisis. The Swede missed a chance for his second shortly after when he was denied by a sliding tackle from the Brazilian defender Danilo, but 6 minutes after the break, he added a second from the penalty spot after Ricardo Orsolini foul in Ismael Benanza. He missed a chance for a third just after the hour mark following a counter-attack launched by Eddie Hakam Kalogo, but Lucas Korubski proved solid in the Bologna goal.
Welcome back to this brand new Serie A season. Well, few clubs come with greater hopes and expectations than Milan. Few of Italy's grandest and most traditional clubs have had to wait longer for silverware than Bologna. Ibrahimovic, wonderful turn, just narrowly wide. Just a little glimpse of what he's capable of.
Well, I was talking about Calabria against Barrow. Calabria wins the ball off Musa Barrow here. That started the attack, and then the combination play between Ibrahimovic and Calabria was excellent.
Çalhanoğlu and Ibrahimovic, the two scorers last week, combining, and Benacer incredibly unable to react.
Wonderful bit of play from Ibrahimovic.
Theo Hernandez. Ibrahimovic waiting for the cross. There it is! And inevitably, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, first off the mark for Milan. What a rip-roaring start for the Rossoneri. And here is Salmakers, and there was Ibrahimovic, and Skorupski, strong and still, but firm. And here Benacer tumbled.
That was in the box. I think it is in the box when his contact was made.
Ibrahimovic, powerful and precise. Milan's enigma, Milan's inspiration. Zlatan Ibrahimovic has a double. Salmakers, fantastic little flick. Çalhanoğlu has support to his left. Ibrahimovic on a hat-trick away from Skorupski. And failing, amazingly, to find the target. He's human. Calabria, they've worked the gap very sweetly here. Theo Hernandez! Fabulous effort, which Skorupski tips over. Barrow slides it forward. Skov Olsen now. Palacio with him. Skov Olsen works the angle. Donnarumma makes a fine stop. Svanberg with this free kick for Bologna. Now or never for them, you'd feel. Sansoni helps it on. Santander, a deflection that took it onto the bar and then over by De Silvestri. Salamakers has his shirt pulled, yellow card.
And it's a red card for Dykes. It was always going to come, wasn't it?
A fabulous finish to one season, a sizzling start to the next. Final score, Milan 2, Bologna 0.
Bologna were again saved by Skorowski at the end of the match, with the pole pushing out to Hernandez's volley. Milan keeper Gianluigi Donnarumma also won his duel against Andres Cove Olsen, while Federico Santander hitting the woodwork for the away side. Bologna finished a man down with Mitchell Jakes, with Mitchell Jakes sent off with 2 minutes to go. And that has brought us to the end of the news. On our news desk, in case you're just joining us, here's the news headline recap. Finally, APC concedes defeats, admits Edo poll free and fair. Mali pronounces ex-defense minister Ba-Ndao as interim president. COVID in Scotland, First Minister prepares to announce new restrictions. CBN decries speculation as Naira plunges exchanges for 465 Naira per dollar. Djokovic wins 50th Italian Open title. And quickly we have photo of the day. You see somebody trying to pull somebody up or something. Somebody standing while the other one sitting. What does that depict? It simply means that we should never look down on someone unless you're helping them up. In other words, somebody who is down today can be up tomorrow. Somebody that's up today can be down tomorrow. So you don't give up on people. Never you look down on anybody. It's either you're helping the person or you're actually helping the person as well. Drop your comment on our social media platform on Facebook, Celebration TV, Instagram, My Celebration TV, Twitter at My Celebration TV, on YouTube, Celebration TV. Always remember that the continuous transformation of our society is a collective responsibility of all. No matter the office you hold as a nation's president, a thought leader, an opinion molder, a character builder, professional, or as a person pursuing passion, you have a duty to give your all to making the society a better place for us and the generations to come. Play your part today and do it with all diligence. Thanks once more for staying with us on our news desk. I remain Nicholas Akosile Walter. To have a great time ahead.
Welcome to News Desk on Celebration TV. I am Comfort James.
And I'm Femi Marks.
And the news making the rounds.
Please stay with us as we bring you details. Watch robust, objective, analytical, informative, educative, entertaining and inspiring news on Celebration TV News Desk.
Every weekday, 11 a.m. GMT+1, that is 11 a.m. GMT+1, and Mondays through Fridays.
You are welcome to Sports Corner. I am Ivan Agafe.
Celebration TV News Desk, the whole truth.